Marvin Lewis, far too patient. Bill O'Brien, far too impatient. The Cincinnati Bengals and Mike Brown love a couple of things. Number one, they like affordability. Number two, they like consistency. They don't want to change anything. Mike Brown likes it when he doesn't have to make tough decisions. So keeping Marvin Lewis around has been in a lot of ways easy, even though they haven't won a playoff game in the 13 years that Marvin Lewis has been there. They've been good enough. And if you remember the lost decade of the Bengals being the 1990s, shortly after that decade ended, Marvin Lewis came in, and they immediately got competitive. Now, they were never good enough to actually take the next level. They were never good enough to actually go to the playoffs and win a game or two. But just having a 9-7, a 10-6, an 11-5 type year, even if they mixed in a 7-9, a 6-10, an 8-8, as long as every couple of years they were going to the playoffs. And, my goodness, Marvin Lewis delivered 5 straight postseasons to Mike Brown. Even if they couldn't get over the hump, the Cincinnati Bengals, because of how they run their operation, were never going to make a move. And Marvin Lewis loves this as well. He doesn't want to churn up the earth. He does not want massive changes. He likes it his way, and I think that has hurt that organization. And I say this knowing that it's somewhat ridiculous to say that the Bengals have been hurt by consistency, since that's what plagued them for so long in the 80s and 90s. But Marvin Lewis has been good enough to get you to the playoffs and not good enough to get you over the hump. And they have let great coordinators go. They have let time and time again coordinators leave for head coaching jobs instead of promote those guys. And what they should do, and what they should have done for the last 5 years, is promote Marvin Lewis to director of player personnel / GM or president, and promote one of those coordinators to head coach, like a Mike Zimmer, who left to go to Minnesota. So too much patience from Marvin and that organization has grown them stale. In Houston, too much impatience has created this never-ending quarterback carousel for Bill O'Brien. And as I said, Bill O'Brien choosing quarterbacks is like throwing spaghetti against the wall. He's just seeing what sticks. That's it. There's no rhyme or reason. It just keeps splattering all over the place. And tonight they're going to go to Deshaun Watson. And had Bill O'Brien had stability, consistency, conviction in these decisions, they wouldn't be a perennial 9-7 team and a flame out in the playoffs that nobody really takes seriously. I mean, look at the quarterbacks they've brought in there. Had they just decided on one and ridden it, had they drafted one and ridden it, had they signed one and ridden it, it could have been different. But the Texans don't know whether they're coming or going from the quarterback position. And now Deshaun Watson is starting, and the guy that he replaced, Tom Savage's agent, is beside himself, saying, what is going on here? This is a bad message to the roster, to the team, to future free agents. And now he is banging pots and pans. And you know when that happens? That stuff happens. Agents barking because their players are upset, because the roster, the players, the locker room, they don't trust the coach is making the best decisions for the team. Now, for Tom Savage, for him to really have that much of a gripe, it's kind of silly because he should have never been starting anyway in week 1. But when does an agent speak out? When he feels like his agent has been, when he feels like his client has been wronged and is frustrated. When is a client wronged and frustrated? When he doesn't trust the decisions being made. And how could anybody in that locker room trust the decisions being made by Bill O'Brien, since he doesn't handle the defense, and that's the strength, and he does handle the offense, and that's the weakness? Weird matchup tonight. 2 crossroads for the 2 franchises on Thursday night, both of which because the coaches have gotten there from different ways and different personality flaws.